A typical Toronto home costs $944,000. A typical Sudbury home costs $525,000. That's a $420,000 gap, and it's the single biggest reason buyers are moving north in 2026. Today, I'm going to break down the real Toronto to Sudbury swap, what your money actually buys, the hidden tax most Toronto buyers don't know they're paying, and the honest trade-offs of moving to the north. I'm Danny Manfred with eXp Realty Brokerage, born and raised in Sudbury. Let's get into it. Quick thing first, if you're thinking about moving from the GTA to Sudbury, text me direct at 705-923-6564. I help Toronto buyers make the move regularly. Real number, real answers, real Sudbury. The raw numbers. Let's start with the gap. Toronto's benchmark home price for April 2026, $944,000, down 6.6% year over year. Sudbury's benchmark, $525,000, up 6.2% year over year. Read that again. Toronto's down, Sudbury's up, and there's still a $420,000 gap between them. A typical Toronto home sells for enough to buy a typical Sudbury home with roughly $400,000 left over. That's a near paid off mortgage on most Sudbury homes. That's the swap. Here's the part that hits home in Toronto. $944,000 buys you the benchmark. Often a modest semi or townhouse, frequently without a real yard, possibly with a commute. In Sudbury, $944,000 doesn't just buy you a home, it buys you a substantial one. In an executive home in the South End, on Long Lake, waterfront adjacent properties, 4 and 5 bedroom homes with garages, finished basements, and yards your kids can actually play in, with $400,000 left in the bank. In Toronto, $944,000 gets you a house with a parking spot you fight your neighbor over. In Sudbury, it gets you a driveway, a garage, and a lake. We just have more land. Quick pause. If you're seriously thinking of considering this move, hit subscribe. I break down Sudbury real estate every Tuesday and Friday. The hidden tax Toronto buyers don't know about. When you buy a home in Toronto, you pay 2 land transfer taxes: the Ontario Provincial Land Transfer Tax and the Toronto Municipal Land Transfer Tax on top of it. Toronto is the only municipality in Ontario that charges its own land transfer tax. When you buy in Sudbury, you pay only the provincial one. There is no municipal land transfer tax here. On a typical home, the Toronto municipal tax alone can add to thousands of dollars to your closing costs. In Sudbury, you can skip the second tax entirely, on top of that $420,000 price gap. Now, I'm not going to pretend the move is perfect. Real talk on the trade-offs. Winter is real. Sudbury winters are longer and colder than the GTA. If you hate snow, factor that in. The job market is different. Sudbury economy is strong. Mining, healthcare, education, government, but it's not Toronto. If you're not remote and not in those sectors, research your industry here first. Some amenities are smaller scale. Great restaurants, culture, and shopping, but it's a city of 165,000, not 3 million. But here's the flip side. No 90-minute commute. 330 lakes inside city limits. A house with a yard. Your kid's hockey rink is 10 minutes away, not 50. And $400,000, that's not going to a Toronto mortgage. 3 groups this swap works best for. Remote workers. If your job followed you home and never left, Sudbury is the single biggest lifestyle upgrade your salary can buy. Young family. Priced out of GTA and house with a yard, Sudbury gives you a family home Toronto can at a price that lets one parent breathe. Equity-rich move-up buyers. Sell the Toronto semi. Buy the Sudbury executive home outright. Bank the difference for retirement. That's the smartest version of this play. The Toronto to Sudbury swap is real. The math is verified and the gap is $400,000 plus. It's not for everyone, but for the right person, it's the biggest lifestyle upgrade your dollar can make in Ontario right now. Text me I help GTA buyers make this move every month. Free Sudbury relocation guide in the description and in my bio. Next week, best Sudbury neighborhoods ranked for 2026. Subscribe so you can catch it. Real talk, real numbers, real Sudbury.